I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it, just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it.
The museum is a very unique and one of its kind museum in the city of Houston, being that there's none other, and there's none other in the nation that promote itself to making sure that that history is not lost.
Number one question we get here is, where the name came from and who are the Buffalo Soldiers? Well, the Buffalo Soldiers were the peacekeepers in the American West. They built camps, forts, railroads, delivered the mail, strung telegraph wires, charted the land, chased down outlaws, comancheros, Mexican revolutionaries. As a matter of fact, without the Buffalo Soldiers, the westward movement would have been delayed 50 years. Now, the name came from the Cheyenne warriors. They saw two things in the soldiers that they saw in the buffalo. It was their naturally curly hair and their ferocious fighting spirit. And they put those two things together and they came up with wild buffalo. And the term wild buffalo eventually became Buffalo Soldiers.
We feel it's important to visit this museum because much of the accomplishments made, or many of the accomplishments made by these soldiers were not reported in history. And we feel that it's important to let the public know exactly who these fellows were and what they did.
A famous historian once said, if a race has no history, if it has no worthwhile tradition, it becomes a negligible factor in the thoughts of the world and stands in danger of being exterminated. Carter G. Woodson. And that's what we do here. We focus on American history. That's what this is all about. The Buffalo Soldiers is a small section of that, but it's an untold story. So we believe that to have a complete history of the American experience, the Buffalo Soldiers should be included. Well, my proudest moments in the museum after each tour, I induct the students into the ranks of the Buffalo Soldiers. I make them all spiritual descendants. There are three ways to be a descendant. You can be a bloodline descendant, which needs no explanation. It basically means that you're a relative of a Buffalo Soldier. You can be a regimental descendant, which means that you served in a unit that came out of the original units. Or you can be like me and 25,000 other students in the greater Houston area. You can be a spiritual descendant. And in my humble opinion, being a spiritual descendant is far more important because it means that you made a conscious decision that you believe in the three basic principles that the Buffalo Soldiers stood for. And those three principles are honor, valor, and courage. So I invite you and the audience to repeat after me. I believe in honor, valor, courage. Give yourself a hand. You're now a spiritual descendant of the Buffalo Soldiers.